Hey guys, haven't done a video in a while. Been pretty busy. But I'm planning on getting this truck on the road this week. I did finish painting the bed. It looks pretty good. I'm doing the brakes on it. It's the first thing I like to touch up on when I'm about to put a car on the road. So I got the brakes on this side all stripped off. I got some new brake shoes. I don't have them out here right now, but nothing special, just the same, just good quality replacements. Those ones are fine, but I'm just gonna replace them for peace of mind. I'm gonna change out the gear oil in the rear end here and put a new gasket on the cover back there, and I got some new gaskets for the axle that go on that part there. This gasket here, you can see that one's shot. They're steel gaskets. I got new ones of those online, and they're here, so I should be able to get this brake job, or at least the back brakes, done by the end of this weekend. I'm gonna do both sides, and then I gotta bolt the seat down inside. It's kind of an important thing to do. And then I might try to fix up that transmission tunnel cover so there won't be a big hole in the floor when I take it down the road. I ran some transmission fluid through the motor to flush it out, and that took out some sludge, so that's good, and it runs a lot smoother now. There was a tick that was going on ever since I started it for the first time, and that tick went away when I flushed it out. So I got some wheels. I got 4 matching original 68 Chevy C20 wheels and hubcaps. I'm gonna paint them up nice, paint the hubcaps, and try to find 16.5 tires because they're hard to find. Oh, copyrighted music. Gotta shut that off. Here's my gear, or my supplies here. Got my gear oil, got my weather stripping adhesive here, my RTV for the these gaskets, because you gotta put a little bit on here because they're metal gaskets. These are those axle seals, and I got my brake shoes right here, and that's about it. So I'm gonna get to work. So here I got the brake adjuster here. Ooh, it's still hot. But I tell you what, that was rusted into that sleeve. It was locked in there tight, rusted on. I did not think I was gonna get it off. I heated up, still didn't want to come off. Messed around with it for a good 5 to 10 minutes with the pliers here, trying not to mar up the little teeth on here, and then it finally popped loose. That probably hasn't been touched in 20 plus years, but glad I got that. I could just buy a new one. I could have just bought a new one if I didn't get it, but I like to revive stuff like this, and I'm a cheapskate too, so that doesn't help either. But I got that off. I'm gonna clean it up real good and get it oiled up and put it back on there. And I got the rest of the brakes put back together. I took a bunch of pictures before I took it apart, and I definitely had to reference back to my pictures. It's amazing how much you forget overnight, but I had to reference back how the springs went. Never actually done the brakes on this truck before. I know most drum brakes are pretty much the same, but something that's a little bit different could throw you off. So like this, I rod right here that runs this arm for the that holds the adjuster so it doesn't go roll back. I completely forgot where that rod went. It was like an extra part. I was like, uh-oh, where does this go? So thankfully I took a bunch of pictures, looked back, and found exactly how this went. So now all I gotta do is clean up that adjuster, put it back on, and I can put my drum back on and move on to the other side. Well, the wheel bearing looks to be in good shape, so I'm gonna grease her up and get this thing put back together. Well, my batteries went dead, so I wasn't able to video a lot of stuff, but this side was nasty, and it was just completely drenched in gear oil because that was my fault. A couple of years ago, I overfilled the gear oil in the rear end. But yeah, there's the nasty old brake shoes and the new one. I have to, what's the other one? Have to transfer over these arms and stuff here. I pulled the cover off of the rear end, and a lot of nasty sludge came out of there. I think it had a lot of water in it too. I'll pull that out and show you guys. It's pretty nasty. There's like a bunch of bubbles and stuff. It's really gross and really thick. It's like nasty stuff, but all the gears and stuff look good. There's no messed up teeth or anything, and I don't see any metal in here. I just see a lot of moisture and dirt and stuff. The cover all cleaned up and painted. Looks pretty sharp. So now I'm ready to put that back on. Got the drum all put back together, the axle in. So that's all good to go. I just need to adjust it and bleed it. Alright guys, I got this thing registered and insured. Try not to show my plate number. So I'm ready to take this on its maiden voyage. I got a bike just in case, but I think she'll do alright. And then tomorrow I'm going to get tires for it. Picked up some other wheels because the 16.5s are hard to find and very expensive, so I decided to go with some 16 inches instead. Steelies off a, wait for it, they are from a Ford. Yeah, that's right, but they will fit, and you can't really tell any difference. They look the same, so those will work pretty good. They do have a Ford stamp right there, but nobody will notice. Alright, let's see how it goes. Saturday morning. A little chilly, but feels like spring finally. And I'm gonna take my wheels to Mavis, get some tires. I got the wheels all painted. Show you guys that over here. Look pretty good. I just painted the outside. Yeah, those are gonna look good on there. I'm gonna take that bike out of the back now, since the maiden voyage went well, and I'll catch up with you guys when I get the tires installed. Here's the tires all mounted. They look great. Can't wait to get them on there. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay guys, I was putting the front wheels on and noticed quite a bit of play in the front, or the hub, and this is why. You probably can't tell on camera, but that's not supposed to do that. And also there's like no grease in this thing. There's no grease packed in it. So who knows when the last time is that this was packed, because I never in the 5 years I've owned this truck, I've never had the dust caps off on the front, because I haven't even driven it that much in the last 5 years. Probably only 2,500 miles, so I never bothered to look. But man, I'm glad I checked on that, because this is shot. Alright guys, there's new tires. Look really good on there. Now I'm going to install the weather stripping.